Well, howdy guys, how you doing everybody? Good to see you. What storm? Unbelievable. It really was. After 3-4 days of watching that stupid track coming right at us and worrying and getting everything ready and putting away all the trash cans and tying everything down and not sleeping and nothing. I think that the biggest wind that we had today was 25 miles an hour and hardly any rain at all. I don't know if you've been following this storm, but it ended up on really weakening and going further offshore, and all the rain was offshore. I mean, it's still a storm. You can see it did a lot of beach erosion and damage like that. But here where I am, 6-7 miles inland, it pretty much turned out to be a non-event. So, and I'm not complaining. So that worked out pretty good. So here I am. We still might have something kick up because at this particular point, the eye or the center of the storm is directly east of me. It's just passing us right now, and there are some bands, some rain bands, and it may spawn a line of storms or something that might knock the power. So if I disappear, let me shut my phone dinger off here. If I disappear, you'll know what happened. It'll be a power failure and not getting blown away. So that's the story of that. And I haven't looked at it yet because I just stopped it. But early this morning, I figured we were going to get quite a show here today. So I stuck my little GoPro on a tripod, pointed it out the window, and started a time lapse of 1 frame every 5 seconds. And I figured if it ran all day, that would give me a very dramatic 3.5 minute or so time lapse of the storm, the clouds, the sky, the wind, the rain coming and gone. And I just stopped it and took the SD card out of the GoPro, copied it to my desktop, and I haven't looked at it yet. So we'll take a look at that and probably yawn and sleep through it. But we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. So we're here. I didn't know if we would or not, but we're here. Welcome to the workshop, the FPV Workshop. I did send emails out. I sent them out way earlier today. So if anybody would like to come in on the panel and be involved in this tonight and either didn't find that email or would like me to send you a link, let me know in the chat and I'll try to pay attention to it. So Jody is here. How you doing? Agent K trying to get me in trouble with Mel, who doesn't want to give out a wrench, evidently. The only reason I said anything to Mel was I thought he had said to me, I thought he was talking to me when he said, post a link to your workshop stream in the chat. And I of course, don't have a blue wrench on his channel, so I can't do it. So I typed back in and I said, I would if I had a wrench. And then Agent K says, why don't you give Mitch a wrench? And Mel got all pissed off and said he doesn't want to give me a wrench or give anybody a wrench except the 3 or 4 people that he's got. And that's fine. And I don't need a wrench. What do I need a wrench for? So I hope Mel's not mad at me. RC Funds Diversion, Rick Halber, how you doing? MN Paul, good to see you. Michael McReynolds, hi. Welcome, good to see you. Floyd Moses here, hey Floyd. Arizona Drone Dude, good to see you. RC Funds Diversions, and Ray Kelly, hi Ray, how you doing? Baduga, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Who else did I miss? Paul, Drone Bum, how you doing? Wish you well, Mitch, but if that fails, can I have your drugs? Yeah, I used to say that to people. If you die, can I have your stereo? There's Rick Halber again, Agent K. Robert Glazier, how you doing, Robert? Welcome, welcome. And RC Funds Diversions again. And Quadalicious from Mel's channel. Yeah, I saw you on there. He was saying you had a drone that went 300 miles an hour. I'd like to see that. Welcome. Good, good. Thanks for stopping by. Paulie again. I think that's it. I think I caught everybody. So Quadalicious. Ha! Yeah. That'd really be something, wouldn't it? A drone that goes 300 miles an hour. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that they've gotten them up to maybe 130, 140, maybe even 100.5. But that is absolutely screaming for one of those things. I don't know if I want to be flying that fast anyway. Although I did fly the model jets, the turbines, 200, 2.25, and of course that wasn't FPV. We were actually watching them line of sight. Yeah, Quadalicious. Slight over exaggeration. Well, I guess you're getting to know Mel because you fly at the same flying field as him, and it looks like a nice little field you got up there. Looks like a lot of fun. So. Paduga, 300 is not too much. We're not talking about kilometers. We're talking about miles an hour, my friend. Where's everybody tonight? Where are my panelists? Where I am here by myself right now. So I don't know where to start. So I guess while I'm waiting for somebody to come in to kind of decide what we need to talk about, I know Rick, want to see if we can't get Rick's radio finally working with his Velocidrone tonight. I thought I got a RC airplane behind me. I thought Mel might come in, might enjoy seeing that. That's an airplane that, since Mel seems to be very interested in RC airplanes these days, I had this thing hanging in my closet for like 12 years. I think I built this back in '08, and Mel has been kind of rekindling my interest in doing a little more RC flying instead of all quads. So I had this. It's a pretty big airplane. I had it in there, and I said, well, today I'm going to. I think I'm going to. Nice rainy day project because it's supposed to have this huge storm. I think I'm going to get it out and make sure that everything, get it ready and look it over carefully. And I'll give you a guided tour of it later. But I wanted to wait till maybe Mel came in. I thought he'd get a kick out of seeing this. Bill, Metro Drones, thank you, man. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Ed says you are way behind me. Oh, okay. All right. But I think that's it. So I'll tell you what, while we're waiting for somebody to come in here and talk about drones, I want to take a look at this time lapse. It's not too bad. And I want to show you what the entire day here looked like. I started this at about 9:30 this morning and just turned it off. So here you go. This is a time lapse of the hurricane as seen out of my window. A little rainstorm right there. Yeah, I guess you can. I guess you can see some weather. How about that? Maybe I should play some music with this. There we go. I mean, you don't see that. You don't see the trees. You don't see the trees bending over because they weren't. You don't see the. You don't see a ton of rain because there wasn't, and but you can see the clouds moving from the east to the west, and that was the circulation. Those clouds were the circulation around the storm, which again was probably, at this point of the day, was probably still about 20, 30 miles south of me. Now there, the trees are starting to move around a little bit more there. But this, that's cool. I don't shoot a lot of time lapses, but that's really cool. Oh, Carlos is here. Let me, Carlos, I'll bring you in as soon as this is over. It's got about another minute or so. But I keep waiting for something dramatic to happen in this thing. Agent K, when I did that time lapse, I knew the battery wasn't going to make it. I plugged a battery pack into the USB. I got this humongous 20,000 milliamp standby battery, USB battery, and I plugged it in, so it ran all day, no problem. But it was only shooting one frame every 5 seconds. And I think that's about right, because if I was shooting any faster or any longer, like one frame every 30 seconds, I think the clouds would have been moving by too fast, and I don't think it would have been as neat. But this is pretty neat. I like this. I thought it was going to be nothing. I thought you weren't going to see any movement of anything, but it's amazing. But this is what and the sun came out for a while. We had times when the sun actually came out, and it was actually gorgeous out there. There's a little rain there. I think the clouds are moving faster now, and you see they're turning more as the storm kind of comes up parallel to me, and I'm on the west side of the storm. You see the clouds are starting to steer in from the north now, because now they're coming down the west, come around the backside of the storm. So that was interesting to see the actual direction of the clouds change direction as the eye of this thing moved north along the coast. But what was really wild was the breaks of sun and the lack of any real big downpour. I was expecting a big downpour, but it never happened. It never happened. And I think it's coming to an end. If it didn't already, it did. It just started over again. Yeah, you see the difference in the clouds coming from the east there in the beginning of the day, and if I go all the way to the end, now the direction is coming from the north, and then probably in 3 or 4 hours they'll be coming the other way from the west. So that's what the big looked like. And how about the big storm from New York?
Good evening, Mitch. How are you, sir?
Hi, Carlos. I'm good. I'm relieved. I'm relieved.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because I didn't get blown away. I still have electricity, and I honest to God, did not think we were gonna make it. Gonna make it a stream.
Do you have toilet paper?
You know, I went to I went to Sam's Club because I actually ran out of toilet paper. I had bought a
Okay.
big bundle of it back in March when the COVID stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
and I hadn't bought any since. And I went to Sam's Club to buy some because I had a couple of rolls left, and they had so much toilet paper.
Hmm.
I have never seen
And you
so
know
much
why?
toilet paper in
You know
one
why?
place.
It's because everybody in
Why?
March bought a year's worth, so now they're going to have an overabundance. That's
I
what.
know.
That's my prediction.
I couldn't believe it. They had pallets of that stuff stacked to the ceiling. It was
Yeah.
incredible. Incredible. Yeah. Let me say hi to
Minnesota Pool Drone Worship.
Quadalicious 300-mile-an-hour winds. For those of you who don't know him, Quadalicious is a new visitor to the channel. He's a friend of Mel's. Flies with him at his club up there, and he was on Mel's stream. He's evidently a quad pilot, and Mel said his drone goes 300 miles an hour, and we all laughed about that. But Quadalicious, I'm going to give you a blue wrench now because you be one of the regulars here, and unlike Mel, I give everybody a wrench. Not because I'm looking for moderators, but because that's how I know who are regulars and who the new guys are. If I see somebody
Excuse
that
me.
doesn't have a wrench, I know I have somebody that's never been to the chat before, and I always like to make sure I notice somebody new that comes in here. So
I'm just not seeing
I
who
make
we're
sure I
seeing.
say hello to them.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Craig, Mad Kiwi is here. How you doing, mate? How are you? And Drone Days is here. Bob, how you doing, buddy? And Danny, excuse me, Dan, Drone Worship is here.
Oh, I just got that. Night Train just joined us.
Mike, how you doing, Mike? Good to see you, Drone Worship. And JST Drone just showed up. Well, good. We got a
Michael
got a nice
McReynolds,
little,
Agent K, they're all here. And Paul.
nice little gathering here tonight. So I guess maybe Rick isn't feeling up to screwing around with this stuff tonight, but if you are, Rick, let me know, and we'll see if we can't get you. Ed says he's working on getting hammered. So what's new? And,
It doesn't always
hi,
get
Ed, how
hammered.
you doing? How you doing? Yeah. So I don't know, Carlos, if nobody has any questions or subject they'd like to talk about, or something with Betaflight, or talk about quads or anything like that. Maybe I'll. You want to see this airplane that I'm working on
course.
back here?
Nobody has any
All right.
questions. When something comes up, I'll let you know. Up until then,
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because this green, it's yellow, and the green screen kind of makes it transparent. See, so I'm going to get my little webcam fired up here, and let's see, where is it? And then I can kind of give you the guided tour. So let me switch over to this. I think do this. And what? Somebody say something funny?
I just want to know why Drone Bum says Ed needs a hammer. But I kind of know.
Okay, there we are, Carlos, and
Alrighty.
there you are sitting there
Ooh,
in
not
the
so
screen,
close.
and,
Further away. Perfect.
And here I am. Did you all see me on Kelly's show the other night?
I kind of
said
saw you.
drone?
A little bit.
You know,
All
what
right.
was
All right.
wild
We
was
do have a
that.
question after you're done. Go ahead.
Okay, all right.
What was wild?
I had to use this camera and set it down over here because it was the only thing I had that the thing connected to, and I couldn't change cameras, so I was stuck on this thing. It was very strange.
Okay. Question: Can you use Betaflight on a phone or tablet? And you can, because they just have that
Yeah.
app that they came out with.
Yeah,
Do
actually,
you want to show them?
but I don't need to answer because Dan is here. And
Dan
he
who?
answered. Yeah, there's two apps now. Speedy Bee was the original one that allowed you to actually plug your your phone into your quad and
Right.
Load it up and change everything. But Betaflight themselves, a few months ago, actually released their version of it, and it's very complete. It allows you to do just about everything, including CLI commands. So, yeah, just go into the GitHub. Somebody told me they saw it in the Play Store, but originally it wasn't. It wasn't in the Play Store. Originally it was. There we go. Do this. Originally it was. You had to go to GitHub and get it, and then you downloaded the APK and side-loaded it on your phone. But somebody told me they found it in the Play Store, but I think maybe what they found in the Play Store was the SpeedyBee app. And I haven't looked because I have it downloaded myself. But if you go on, if you just type in Google search, if you just type Betaflight mobile app, it'll take you to the GitHub page where you can download the SDK for it and do that on your phone. And once the SDK is on your phone, you go into your downloads, just touch it, just click it, and it'll ask you, do you want to install this application? Then you get a warning that this is not a trusted application. It's going to blow up your phone and kill your firstborn. Do you want to proceed? You go, yeah, absolutely. And I'm not crazy about that firstborn. Anyway,
You know, I was thinking that.
And loaded. I know. It's my job to say what you're thinking, Carlos.
It's usually the other way around. But go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't mean SDK. I meant APK, Dan. That's why you're here, Dan. That's why you're here, to keep me honest. I do know the difference, too. I do know the difference. The SDK is a software development kit, and I have an excuse, and it's called being 73 years old. Okay? Anyway, so what I want to do, I have to, and it might create a tiny little echo. I'm wearing a wireless mic. What do you think of this shirt, by the way? Look at this.
Nice.
It's all cigars. See, all different cigar stuff.
I'd wear that.
Yeah, that's a great shirt. It's a great shirt. Yeah, inside. It's a long story behind the shirt. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my headphones off and unplug them, and it's going to make a sound. I think. Say something.
Something. 1, 2. Test. 1, 2.
Okay, I can hear you very faintly through the speaker.
Okay.
So we may have a little echo on my part, but here we go. All right. So what I got here is it's upside down because when you work on it, everything works through this bottom hatch here that's held on by a magnet. That's for the battery compartment and everything. It's a fairly large airplane.
It looks it.
A little over a 6-foot wingspan, and it's designed to be what they call a 3D airplane, which means it's got huge control surfaces. Can you see see the size of the elevator on this thing?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it's designed to do torque rolls and inverted spins and everything else. And it's got a tremendous amount of side area here, which means it knife edges like crazy too. And it has a huge electric, about a 50-30. I doubt you'd be able to see it down in there. It's a huge motor, runs on it takes a 5,000 milliamp 6S battery. And
quick question, Rich. Is that a seaplane that you can land on the water, or just for looks, the bottom part there?
No, it's wheels. Just wheels.
Just all wheels. Okay.
These are wheel pants.
All right, so you can't hear me. If I have a question, I have to talk louder. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, hang on a second here. Let me just turn this little speaker volume up a little bit. Try now.
Hello, test. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there's an echo, though. I can hear it. I don't know what they're going
to do. It's an echo because
All right.
I can't be over here. Problem is I can't be over here at this airplane.
I'll be as quiet
my
as
headphones,
possible.
No, that's okay. My headphones don't reach. But at any rate, I just thought that I'd show you guys a little bit of this thing. You know, the radio and all that stuff is down in here. The wing panels are in these bags, and you put the thing together. So these are the wing panels. Colorful, isn't it?
Very nice.
It's called a reactor, and the wings go on. This is the wing for the other side, of course, but oh no, this is this side because it's upside down. The wings will go on here. Nah, it's not good. Yeah, the wings will slide on here like this, and then they're held on by screws. And
okay, Mitch, real quick.
Like.
I think you should know this. Rick Calver says, Mitch, I have the Velocidrone on going. I sent you a text a few days ago. I will come on after I finish dinner. How big are the props? Minnesota Paul wants to know on your plane.
All right, hang on a second. Anyway, I don't know if you're all excited about that, but I thought I'd show you the airplane. And
actually, Baduga was very impressed.
First nice day we get, I'm gonna take it out and fly it, and I'm gonna take the cameras with me, and make a video, because it's always nice to have an excuse to make a video. You know, I need to get a wireless headset here. I got the wireless mic. If I had the wireless headset, I'd really be mobile with the camera. With this wireless camera and a wireless headset and the mic, and man, I could go outside.
Reporter on the go.
Yeah, that's it. All right, so
yeah,
we'll do away with that.
I'm not sure how long, but Mr. Rick is going to have some din and then join us. Okay. He's got Velocidrone going.
Dan says he's already crashed it in his head 7 times. And I'm not sure. No, I've already flown that airplane a number of times, and it's really a very good flying airplane. They don't make it anymore. There's a company for those RCers among you called Great Planes that makes these, and this was kind of in the era right before they started making everything out of foam like they do today. You know, when you buy these ready-to-fly airplanes today, most of them are foam. And not that there's anything wrong with foam. The foam airplanes are good airplanes, but this is all made out of hardwood, balsa, covered with monocoat. It's built up, but it came already built. So this is built in China, and it's all hand labor, and they don't do this much work on these models. And when I bought this thing back in 2008, the list price on it, and I know this because I Googled the airplane because I needed to find out where the center of gravity was supposed to be. I forgot. So I Googled it to get the manual, and there's tons of videos, YouTube videos with this thing, and there was a review on it, and the review basically was the thing came out in 2008, and that's just about when, if I remember correctly, that's about when I bought it, and it was $189.
Wow.
And when you think about the amount of labor involved in building something like that by hand and covering it, if you've ever covered anything with monocoat, you guys will understand. Baduga says he used to see gas planes. Well, this airplane was designed to be either gas or electric, and back then most of them were gas, and I was pretty brave going electric with it, because the electric spec people were just starting to do that, and with bigger things like this, and it was expensive. The motor for the electric motor that I bought, they don't make that. That's discontinued too. But I went and looked it up, and it was $200 for the motor, $100 for the ESC. You know, by the time I got all done, I probably had over $500 invested in this thing. So, including, and that didn't come with servos or radio equipment or any of that stuff. So,
are you
it's just been hanging in my car.
Sorry, are you expecting Chris Hope? Mr. Rick Calver's asking. with his Tyro 119?
Tonight? No, I
Yeah.
don't think he's got.
No.
He just ordered it. He's got to wait at least 6 years for it to get here from China. So
Gotcha. Hey, that covering
So,
around the wings, is that something you put on and then like put a blow dryer to it so it shrinks? Or
yeah, it's a heat shrink Mylar,
it is, right?
and you use what they call a monocoat iron. It's an iron specifically built. It has a small head with a chisel shape in the front, and to get into the corners. I mean, you could do it with your mother's steam iron, but that's
Yeah.
these things are all Teflon coated, and it's an art form. And we used to monocoat a lot of the models.
So then you painted it afterwards?
No, that's you do.
Oh,
They
so
do
that
it with
it's already
different
painted and
color.
everything. Okay.
Different. It's not even paint. It's just different color Mylar.
All
So
right.
they'll put one color from here to there, and then they'll start another color. And if they have to put the markings on, they'll just put it over the top of it, which
Gotcha.
is the trickiest thing to do because you always end up getting air bubbles. Floyd Moat says, the good old days, Mitch. Yeah, those were the good old days, man. I spent a lot of hours monocoating airplanes. I used to like to paint them, but monocoating, when they came out with monocoat, it was a fast way to finish a model. When you painted a model, you had a lot of prep work to do. You had to cover the airplane with something, or else you had to build an airplane that was made it was fiberglass, or if you had balsa, you had to fill it or generally put some kind of a covering or fabric, and they had fabrics that were designed to be painted. But you couldn't just paint the raw balsa wood. It has no strength. Dan says, Mitch, this show is too serious. We need some jokes. Take 5 minutes to tell some good jokes, even if you have to Google them. I need a laugh.
Need a laugh. Go
Carlos,
get naked in front of the
Carlos.
mirror. Yeah.
But you guys think you think this is the Ken Hearn show where we tell jokes? Tell us a joke, Carlos.
I don't know anything about Ken Hearn's show.
There you go. See,
I don't
all right.
joke. I don't know. Dan naked is a joke. That would be funny.
Yeah, that Floyd. So Floyd, you built some model airplanes and monocoated them, and Mel has had some experience with monocoat with that airplane that he just built and put the electric motor on. And
Sounds like maybe Ed too.
remonocoat the wings. Bob says you're here to tell the jokes, Carlos. What I want to know is where the hell is everybody tonight?
As far as on the panel
Why?
or in the chat?
Yeah, I mean,
Carlos,
you know, come on, somebody, come on in here. Jim Boyd, you seen him above and beyond? I
have
saw him
not
in
as
Mel's
of yet,
chat.
no. Are you opposed to putting the link on the chat to see if does anybody in the chat want to join before I actually go?
Yeah, I said if anybody
Goes
wants to
forward
come
with
in,
that.
let me know. Let me know.
It says you got 21 people here. So hit more likes.
Yeah,
Uh-oh, 2 dislikes already. I can't.
I always get my dislikes. Yeah, I always get my. How many
Yeah, no,
dislikes
no.
do I have now?
2.
2. I always get 2.
Really? I'm surprised.
Although last week I only got 1.
I'm not sure why. I don't know. Whatever.
Verduga says he uses laminating film. You know what the guys are doing these days on the little on the foam airplanes? They're buying that 3 mil laminate in a big roll that you get from Amazon. 3 mil laminate, and this laminate is designed for these commercial laminating machines that for documents and restaurant menus, things like that. But this stuff they're using it, especially this one guy in England. They're using it from to cover, to actually put some plastic or Mylar cover right on top of the foam on these foam models, and it strengthens them and it keeps them clean. Because most of these things you're hand launching them, and where a lot of these guys fly, it's a mud hole. So, but I said, I ought to pick up a roll. That stuff's expensive. it's like 50 bucks for a roll of it. And I said, I don't need it that badly. So. Get Ed up there. I want to see him getting hammered. Bob said that.
He's not getting
wants to see.
Ed is tired. He's an old man.
I tell you what I use on some of them is, like Baduga said, just some clear plastic packing tape. You can stick that on the bottom under. Yeah, I stick it. Or if I want it to be real strong,
you mean in addition to something else?
No, I'm talking about on the foam. On the foam things.
Got it.
Yeah. Oh, we got somebody in the chat room. In the
green room backstage.
Yes,
We'll need all the
and it is. Let's see. Let's pick out a good.
I like the one that goes, damn.
That was a good one, Mitch.
Hi, Mel.
Hi, Mitch. Hello, Carlos.
Good evening, Mr. Mel.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good. I sure wish I hadn't have flubbed up that video today, but doing good.
You know what's is you know you didn't were you watching earlier when I showed you the time lapse that I shot today?
I just got set back down.
Oh, okay. I mean I did it on purpose. I shot a time lapse of the entire day of the palm trees and the clouds outside my window with the hurricane going through, and it reminded me. I thought back of your time lapse that you really didn't want to be a time lapse.
Yeah, and I have no idea. You know, on that Osmo Action camera, that's the second time that's done that to me now, where I think I'm recording in 2.7K 30 or 4K 30, and it's really in 4K times 15. You know, time lapse. And
I don't know how that works, but
I don't know how it
GoPro,
gets changed.
I'm going to tell you on the GoPro. On the GoPro, if you turn it on, okay, I'm going to turn it on here. Go on, turn on.
Mitch, do you use the phone app to adjust all the settings?
My GoPro's.
You can.
Why isn't my GoPro turning on?
Is the battery dead?
I don't know. It might. I plugged it in all day. Shouldn't be dead.
See, I just turned it on again, and I got 2.7K 30, just like it's supposed to be.
Well, there it is. Okay. All right. So this is on now, right? But if I press the power button once, it changes from photo to video to time lapse to photo to video to time lapse, and that's easy to happen accidentally. If you turn it on and maybe accidentally hit the power button again, it changes the mode. Is that the way the action works?
No, this one actually, if I just bump the power button, it shuts the screen off. If I bump it again, it turns it back on. The only way to change the mode is swipe down and go into the menu, or the button on the side. If you tap this button on the side, that's where you change your modes at. So if you tap that button, you get all these different modes.
But you have to select it. See, now on the GoPro, if I tap the power button once, then I can see how it's changing modes.
Right.
But that's the power button. So when you first turn the camera on, if you accidentally maybe let go of the power button a little and then push it back in again, you'll change modes. So you can do that. And I've had that happen to me.
Rick just brought up a good point.
Mr. Mel, you saw that voice recognition?
Yeah. Rick asked if I had voice recognition on, and I do. So there's a possibility that I said something that made it change.
It's possible, but that was some seriously fast RC action, I got to tell you.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what. Lloyd was like, I showed that to Lloyd before the show, and he's like, or maybe it was during the show. He says, "You need to get that music for that other TV show."
The Yakety Sax.
Yeah.
The Benny Hill theme.
Right. That's what I said. The Benny Hill thing. And he went, yeah, that's it.
That's Boots Randolph. Yakety Sax is the name of that.
Yeah.
You can just yell at Alexa. You just yell out and say, play Yakety, and it'll come. Your Echo will start playing it.
Oh, I'm sure, but I can't do stuff like that on my channel because I'll get a copyright claim.
Probably. Although, does Ken not get copyright claims with "the bird is the word"?
I don't know. I imagine he probably does.
I imagine he has to.
But
anyway, Mel, I had this thing here.
He probably has that on Epidemic anyway, so he,
yeah,
because he's
maybe.
got Epidemic, so he's probably got everything covered.
I was working on this today, and it's your fault, and I have it out here because I wanted to show it to you, and I'm serious. It's your fault. So I'm going to turn around.
I can handle that.
I'm going to turn around and show you this.
Uh-oh. Oh, the wing, the fixed wing.
Yeah, this is it's upside down now, but this is an airplane that I bought in 2008. It's called a Reactor by Great Plains. It's designed to be a 3D airplane. Look at the size of the control surfaces. The rudder, the elevator is the
horizontal stabilizer is all elevator.
It's all elevator, and the elevators on the wings are absolute. The ailerons are huge, and you can set them at low rate. See, you can set it at a lower rate and fly it like an aerobatic airplane. But when you crack this thing with 3 inches or 4 inches of elevator up and down and 4 inches of rudder,
things move.
Inverted flat spin. Yeah, and it's been hanging in my closet for 12 years, and my friend Mel is out there just flying RC airplanes and getting a new airplane here and a new airplane there, and I said, damn, I almost forgot how much fun that was. I think I'm going to go get one of these things I got out of the closet, a real, not just a little iNav little foamy thing, but a real honest to goodness RC airplane, and so I pulled it out of the closet, and that's what I did all day today. I got it all ready to go. It's got it uses a 5,000 milliamp 6-cell battery. It's got a huge motor in it, and when I fly it, I'll take the camera and take some videos. Of course, it's all line of sight. There's no flight controllers or anything in it. It's just the way it was.
Carlos.
It was just the way it was eight years ago. So, and back when I bought this model, and it's all built up. I mean, it's all hardwood, plywood, and monocoat, and all handmade. Back when they used to make them this way in China, is all China. $189 is what the kit cost. If you could.
Yeah. $189 and about 2 weeks worth of work.
No, it came all built.
Oh.
Built and covered.
Oh.
All you had to do was you had to glue the control surfaces on, you had to put the servos in, you had to put all the linkages on. But basically the airframe itself was all built and all covered.
Wow.
And it comes with the fiberglass wheel pants. It's got this is a fiberglass cowl painted.
Wow.
And the paint job on it was gorgeous. I mean, the quality of the work on this thing was terrific.
That's cool.
Yeah, so and I flew it for a few months. So I probably got 15, 20 flights on it maybe, and then that's about the time I packed up and moved from Orlando over here to the coast, and I took all these airplanes that I had and I just hung them in I have in a spare closet. I took some coat hanger wire and made some hooks that go under the propellers.
Yeah.
And just hung the fuselages up, like sides of beef in a freezer,
Yep.
And they've been hanging there ever since.
Nice.
And I kept saying to myself, one of these days I'm going to get that airplane out. One of these days, and you've inspired me. So.
I see. Well,
so it's your fault.
I've been wanting to get back into fixed wing for a while, and since I did, I really enjoyed it. I enjoy going out to the AMA field. even if I don't fly. I went out there today and flew again. But the little foam plane that I'm flying right now, the wheels are really small. They're about 1 inch or smaller. And this nose gear on this thing is the craziest thing I ever seen, Mitch. The main rod for the nose gear comes out of the fuselage at about a 45-degree angle, 40-degree angle or so.
Yeah.
And then the nose wheel, it's got the spring, and then it bends back at about a 90-degree angle to that. So your pivot rod that would normally be level with the ground is at about a 45-degree angle.
Pivoting forward.
Yeah. And it's backwards.
Backwards.
It comes out of the bottom of the fuselage forward.
It's trailing. Yeah,
and
that's supposed to make it. It's supposed to make it go straight.
Well, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Well, it may on a hard surface, but on the grass, I mean, the grass was coming up taller than the wheel pants were. So
yeah, well, that's a problem with these small wheels.
I'm going to do something about it, and I tried. I've got some larger foam wheels that I took off my other airplane because I thought they were too small for the grass because it's kind of heavy. It weighs about 6 pounds. This one only weighs about 2.5 pounds. So I thought them smaller wheels would be plenty for it, but they're too big for the nose gear the way it is. So I'm going to do some modifying and make some nose gear changes, and probably I have a lot of problem with because it's a smaller airplane and the tricycle gear are kind of close in proximity, it tends to nose over one way or the other quite a bit, pretty regular. So I think I'm going to make new main landing gear for it and spread them out a little wider, and then design a new or modify the nose wheel so that it doesn't do what it does. And I think I'll make it work, but it's not designed, it's not planned to fly off of grass,
Take the wheels off it and make a hand.
That's what everybody said. Take
I'm
the wheels off and hand launch it and belly land it.
If it's a smaller light airplane like that, and it's full.
Well, it's not. Well, I guess you could say it's small. It's got about a 50-inch or 55-inch wingspan.
That's not that small.
No,
well, you can still
it's small enough to hand launch. I mean, it's launchable.
Problem.
Yeah. I could hand launch it with the landing gear and then just land it on the landing gear instead of belly land it.
Just as long as you don't catch your arms in it,
Yeah.
It's not possible to launch these things by the wing, right?
No.
Can you grab by the wing and just throw it just right?
Yeah, it'd be hard on the wing.
Right?
You don't want to do that. Yeah, because there's no spar. This one has a small carbon fiber rod, like an 1/8 inch carbon fiber rod, but it only goes through about half of the wing. The outer
I see.
third of each wing is just foam.
Got it.
You remember this thing that I built?
Mm-hmm.
The binary, the Sonic model. That's about 4 foot wingspan, and it's fairly heavy, and it has it's twin, and it has all the iNav stuff in it, all the flight controller, the camera and a pan tilt and all that. And they sell these landing gear kits for it, but virtually every one of the people I've ever seen on YouTube who has built and flown this model did not opt for the landing gear kit. They just hand launch it.
Yeah.
And belly land it.
Yeah.
And if you can hand launch this thing, a twin like this, you can hand launch the thing that you've got.
Oh yeah.
What's the wingspan span on that, Mitch?
It's a little over 4 feet, I would guess.
Okay,
1,200 millimeters. I think it's 1,200 millimeters, however.
Yeah, this one.
It's about the same.
When I lay this wing on top of the other wing, the balsa plane, it's only about that much short on each end. So I'm going to guess it's about a 55-inch or 50-inch wingspan. But it flies great. I mean, it was kind of windy today, and it flew just fine.
Yeah, it was a little windy. It's a little windy here.
Mitch,
in case some of you guys.
Did you ever tell us the prop size on that plane behind you, the upside down plane?
The prop size on that is a 1210.
I was going to say a
12-inch
1210
prop.
or 12.8.
1210, and you can go up to a 16.8.
All right, what does 16 mean and what does 8 mean?
16
Is that
inches
diameter
or
and
12
radius?
inches. No, the tip to tip on the prop is 12 inches. The second number is the pitch of the blade, and
Okay,
and a
pitch.
1210 means that in one complete rotation it screws through 10 inches of air.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah. If you were to put it in a solid medium like a gel and screw it like a drill bit, in one rotation it would go 10
That's pretty cool.
inches. Yeah. So a 1210 is a heavier pitch than say a 12.8, and it'll put more of a load on the engine. It's like driving a car in a higher gear. Same thing is true with props on quads. You have a 3-inch pitch will allow your motors to wind up faster than a 4-inch pitch would. So that's what that means. I was going to show Mel and some of you other guys that may not have been around earlier. The hurricane that we had here today was here. Let me get it going here. This was outside of my window. Okay. Mel, this was, I started at 9 o'clock this morning. I think that was the only rain that we really had all day. Did you see the rain go by?
Yeah.
I think that was the only rain. This was not a very impressive hurricane, to tell you the truth. Well, it's a tropical storm now. But you can notice that the clouds are, now I'm facing north, okay? Looking out the window, we're looking due north.
Okay.
The storm is off to the east, and at this point it's southeast. So if the low clouds are the rain bands. You can see the low level stuff that's coming through. You see it's moving from east to west.
Yep.
Okay. And yet the palm trees, you can see the trees moving, but they're not really blowing. I think I doubt if we even had one gust that hit 35 miles an hour. So we really got lucky because this thing petered out. There was so much dry air feeding it, and so much high-level
Did I
winds.
see a lady waving at you, Mitch? Really
I don't
fast?
think so.
No?
Maybe just
Okay.
walking
I
around
thought I
out
saw
there, yeah, coming and going. But you wouldn't. The wave would be too fast. I was only one frame every 5 seconds, Mel. So you're looking at over about 10 hours of actual time
Right.
produced about 3.5 minutes of video.
Right.
And I don't do a lot of time lapses. I just took a guess at that. But it turns out that's exactly what I was looking for. Cloud movement about that speed.
Yeah, anytime you do a time lapse like that of weather, anywhere in the 5 to 6 second range is good.
Okay, I didn't see. I have not done a lot of time lapses. So I kind of took a guess at it.
Now, if you want to do a time lapse, like driving down the road with your car or something, you want to do probably if you're on the interstate, say you're moving 70 mile an hour, you want to do a 7 second, anywhere from 5 to 7 seconds on the time lapse.
Okay.
But for weather, anything 5-6 seconds, that's good.
Yeah, it came out. Now notice the clouds are starting to head more southerly, and
Yep.
and that as the storm was coming north.
Going by, yep.
So at the end of this video, in about another minute, you'll see the clouds are coming directly at me. They're coming right north to south.
Right.
And that was at 8 o'clock tonight is when I stopped this thing, right before the show. And according to the weather map, the center of the storm was due east of us. Notice that it come right up even with me.
That would make the wind going due south where you're at then, yeah?
Yeah, circling around counterclockwise.
What camera was
So-
that, Mitch? They're asking you.
As a GoPro Hero 7, shooting in 2.7K linear mode. So I didn't want the real wide angle. I didn't want any curvature in it. There's another little storm. Look at that.
Yeah.
Ray Cowboy,
They-
wake up. Sorry, I'm trying to get his attention.
They were just little tiny 1 minute, 2 minute little bursts of rain, and the
Yeah.
sun, and we had periods when the sun was out, and you wouldn't even know there was any rain in the neighborhood. It was crazy, and we worried about this thing, Mel. We worried about it for 4 days.
I know.
Watching the weather, watching that damn target pointed right at us. You know.
Yep. Yep.
Makes
Well,
for good
because you never know
commercials.
what they're going to do.
See, now it's coming. See, the clouds are
coming
coming
right at
pretty
you.
much right at us. Yeah, and that was as the storm was becoming. Look at the sun, though. Look at the blue sky up there.
Yeah, I saw that a couple times when the lower
Yeah.
level cleared out.
It was crazy. Now, over at the beach was a different story. They had, 7 to 9 foot seas, the tremendous sand erosion on the beach. But there, look at the sky. Look at
Yep.
that was earlier. That just looped itself. But that was the big storm, and I was afraid that I certainly wasn't going to be able to have this live stream tonight because I thought I wouldn't have any power. I ran around and went out and got gas for the generator. Got some, do all the stuff you do to prepare for these storms.
Because you never know, because they're unpredictable.
Yeah, they are. We got lucky. We've gotten lucky with a lot of these things.
You're really better off watching the radar yourself than listening to the weatherman.
I guess, although I'll tell you what, these models that they have today, with all the inputs they have from the Hurricane Hunter airplanes, and they feed all this data into these models, they get pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Last year, they had, I forget the name, was it Dorian? They had one that took 10 days to get here. And they started predicting that it was going to hit right where I lived. That's where it was going to come on shore. Cat 4.
Talking about
Okay.
last year, right?
Yeah, Cat
I
4.
remember.
You've seen what a Cat 4 does when it comes directly on shore. That's like Hurricane Andrew or the one that wiped out the Marsh Harbor in the Bahamas last year. That was Dorian. Okay. I was convinced that I was going to be homeless. I was absolutely
Yeah.
convinced that we were going to be devastated. And for 9 days, we watched that track, and it moved east a little bit, and we thought, okay, we're in the clear. And then the next day, it moved back west again, and we were back doom and gloom. And this went on for 9 days. And when the thing finally went by offshore, about 30 miles offshore, it was exactly where the first plot had predicted it was going to be.
Wow.
Mitch,
Yeah.
real quick, I want to say hello to Mr. Indigo Rhino, who's known as Ryan, and Aggie RC, who's also known as Kara. Aggie RC is in England.
Aggie RC, yeah, how you doing? Yeah, we watched. Was it
Live
your
Fly
stream
with
or
Ed.
it was Ed's stream? Yeah, Aggie, how you doing?
She needs
Good
some
to see
clothes
you.
if you get a chance.
Good to see you. Let me give you a wrench here. Let me give you
And
a
if
blue
I may,
wrench.
I'd like to give shout out to Rick Halber real quick.
There he is.
That guy
That was-
does so much for everybody. He's the one that donated this MiG
Uh-oh.
that I'll be flying next weekend. And the only reason I didn't fly it this weekend is because I couldn't find batteries for it. It takes a special battery.
Oh, okay. No,
This
Rick.
one actually takes a 2-cell with a balance port on it. So it's 3 wires. So all of my 1-cell little batteries the plugs are just 2 wires. They're not wide enough for 3.
No, it's adorable. But no, Rick, that was a nice thing of you to do, and I'm sorry to hear that that you're not having a good evening. And don't worry about anything. When you feel up to it, we'll play with the.
What's
the airplane.
he talking about? His leg leaking. Got a pool of water under his right.
He's got some issue.
So anyway, the batteries should be here tomorrow.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I'll get it. I'll get it bound up to the Spectrum transmitter and maybe be flying it.
I see Ed in watching that storm. Ed, what the weather we had today wasn't nearly as bad as some of these late afternoon lines of storms that come through here because of the sea breeze convergence of in Florida. we get the sea breeze convergence in the summertime. You get the breezes from the Atlantic hit the breezes from the Gulf right in the middle of the state, and convective stuff happens, and sometimes it happens closer to this coast, sometimes to the other. But we can get some violent storms here in the afternoon, lightning and thunder and 60, 70, 80 mile an hour gusts. And this tropical storm that went by today, like I said, I doubt we had any wind at all that was anything more than 20, 25, 30 miles an hour tops.
Wow.
Breezy. It was just breezy.
Hello, Dan. Hello, Marcel. Marcel says he had a couple of 2S's in his box out there today that I could have used.
Yeah, your
I
buddy
didn't have that plane with me today.
Is that
Marcel is Quadalicious. He's one of the
Marcel. Yeah.
He's one of the guys that flies out at the field where I just joined, the AMA field.
Yeah. So
He's
just
got
need
all
a
kinds of
standard.
airplanes and quads, and
You need a standard 2S that just has like an XT30 on it, or a different kind of a plug.
no, it's a different. I don't think it's an XT30. I don't know what an XT30 is. Well, there, I just crashed it for the first time. Everybody, right here, live on the stream.
It'll survive. I can't. Hold on, I got to make you bigger, Mel. I shouldn't be hogging the whole screen. No, that's not an XT30. That's JST.
Yeah, well, it's wide enough for 3 pins.
Oh, really? It's a 3-pin JST. I've never seen a battery with one of those on it.
Well, the battery has 3 wires because one of the wires apparently is a balance wire.
Well, that whole thing would be if you have a 3-cell, you're going to need 3. You need
2-cell.
A 2-cell. You need 3 wires. You need to ground 1 wire between the 2 batteries and 1 wire at the top.
Well, that's the way this is. The hot and the ground are on each side, and then that center wire is for something else.
But the center wire is on the charger. It's probably not used on the airplane. That probably
it's not.
Yeah, that's just a.
So I don't have any batteries that will fit that plug. I don't have any plugs that I could even put on a battery.
That's one of these.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's just a 3-pin JST. The battery would have this one on it, and of course your airplane has this on it.
Right. Yeah, see, and I don't have all that stuff.
Well, see this? This is the kind of stuff that when you're in the hobby, you buy these kits from Amazon for $10. And it's got all the different sizes of all those different things, anywhere from 2-pin to 8-pin, and you make your own cables.
Guys like you buy those.
Well, guys like you can do it too.
Well, guys like me are just starting out. Hell, I finally just went and bought 2 ammo cans at the Army surplus store yesterday to charge and discharge my LiPo batteries.
Put your batteries in, yeah.
I'm going to use one to, like right now, I've got one of the 3 cells or 4 cell, whatever I got for the big airplane, putting it in storage. So I've got it in an ammo can. And then I'm going to take the other ammo can and I'm going to make cardboard dividers,
Yeah.
So I can slide my batteries down in. That way I'll just keep them all stored in an ammo can. So if
I keep mine. That way, if they ever go off, it's going to be one whopping explosion, man. Shrapnel will be everywhere. But
yeah, well, I'm going to take the rubber gasket out of the lid so that when you close it, it doesn't actually seal.
Doesn't seal it.
Yeah.
Just contains the flames. I bought one of those little LiPo bags. And when I go out to fly, I throw all the batteries in that little LiPo bag. But I usually have kind of a...
If I'm not mistaken, I saw Dan, Drone Worship, take a torch to one of those LiPo bags and it went on fire. Is that correct, Dan? So I don't know if I trust this. And he also said if you put a bunch of... real quick, if you put a bunch of batteries in one of those ammo cans, he says eventually it'll build enough pressure to...
Yeah, if it's sealed, but if it's vented, it can't do that.
I've been using those ammo cans for a long time, and You just don't, you put the batteries in there, you close them, but you don't store them. You store them in the house. You don't store them out in a hot garage or and leave them in the trunk of your car or anything like
Right.
that. You got to be very,
Especially in Florida.
you got to be very conscious of that.
But the lipo bags that you guys are talking about, I've seen a video. It might have even been Dan. I don't remember now.
I think it was,
He did a discharge on a battery with a light bulb, like a car light bulb, in a lipo bag,
Yeah,
and the light bulb
burn a hole
burned
through it.
the lipo bag. So what the hell's that going to do against a lipo battery, for crying out loud?
Who knows?
That
I don't want to be the guy to test them out. I figure it this way. I figure it's got to be safer than nothing.
Yeah, it
And,
might give you an extra 30 seconds if you can grab a hold of it and get it out of your house.
Yeah, they're a hazard. Lipo batteries. You have to be very conscious of them. If you
Yep.
got one with bad connectors and frayed wires and it's puffed up like a balloon, and you continually keep doing it, if you overcharge them, if you decide you're going to charge it at 10C instead of 1C,
Instead of one-
because you want to charge it in
Really
you want it
quick.
charged in 5 minutes. Yeah, you might have fires, or you
Mitch.
have yes.
Are the DJI drones? No. Are those style batteries more prone to fires than the lipos? Not necessarily.
Well, they are lipos.
They are like
No,
They
no.
are
But the ones,
lipos.
let me rephrase. The smart DJI batteries more prone to fire than a quad.
Well,
battery.
the smarts are supposed to monitor the charging conditions so you can't do it wrong. In other words, it's programmed to do it the safest possible way,
and discharge them.
and it self discharges them. That's the biggest thing. Speaking of the biggest thing. Sorry, Art. It was a perfect segue for you. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing
Hey,
pretty good.
Good. Okay,
But-
so
Yeah.
we're talking about batteries. I will get back to you. Art. Let me
Batteries.
finish.
I'll
let me
give you.
finish this.
I'll give you a warning about those too, though, Mitch. If you keep your drone in a case, and your batteries are charged, and you decide not to fly, and you know that in 4 days it's going to discharge those batteries. Guess what happens when those 4 or 5 batteries?
Well, it generates a little bit of heat.
If it's in the
Yeah.
case, things get hot.
Yeah, I've checked them in the case, and they're warm, but they're not. They just charge so slowly that I don't think it's dangerous. If it was, there'd be an awful lot of guys having a lot of DJI cases go up in their bedroom closet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I think that the most important thing, and this is the regimen that I use, and I've been using lipo batteries and things for 15, long time now in this hobby. Don't leave fully charged batteries stored for a long time, couple days tops. If you find you're not going to fly, put it into storage charge. So you need to have a charger
Right.
that has a storage charge mode, and
Yep.
it's better for the battery. Some people say, well, I don't want to do that because it just uses up one of my cycles. Well, by doing that, you'll triple the number of cycles or usable cycles you'll get out of a battery if you just don't leave it sit around fully charged.
Hey, I gotta say something. Mel, you look
Art?
marvelous.
Indigo
Oh.
Rhino, that's funny.
That's funny. That's what I
That
was
is
laughing at,
funny.
Mitch. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, that's funny. I gotta put that one up there. Hold on
Thank
a
you, Art.
second. Where is that? There it is. This is it. Yeah.
You're supposed to remove your ammo from the cans before storing your lipos?
How you doing, Indigo? I didn't see you in here. Good to see you. I forget about using this thing. I got so many buttons here. I forget about the Drone Day says I store mine in a firebox, like for important papers. Yeah, anything that, as long as you keep it in a cool place and you don't store your fully charged batteries in the trunk of your car,
Yeah.
out in the hot sun for a long time.
Put them in a black
you'll be fine.
bag and set them on
Yeah.
your windowsill.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, or in the back window of your car. Yeah, that's a good place.
There you go. There you go.
And storage charge. Even if you flew your battery down and it's undercharged, if you flew it way down, that's just as bad or even worse sometimes for a battery than leaving it fully charged. Then you go to bring it up to storage charge. But that's what's so neat about all these new chargers now. They have a storage charge mode, 3.85 volts per cell for a lithium polymer.
Yeah, I've got one of those. That's what it does. It does.
Yeah,
it's got an actual storage.
It does a setting
on it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they have a setting for discharge. If you feel like you want to cycle your battery or test it to see whether it's giving you rated capacity, you discharge it down. Or the main time that I use the discharge is when we're getting ready to throw a battery away. If it's a bad battery, you know, just completely and thoroughly discharge. And what I do is I have this smoke stopper that I built with the light bulb.
Right.
And I'll plug that in and then short it. So and let the light bulb go until the light bulb goes out. Dan was doing that. Once the light bulb is out, you're pretty well discharged. At that point, you take and cut the connector off, strip the wires, short them together, and whatever charge you had left, residual charge, will go away. And then I asked the guy, they said at that point, you can throw it in the trash can. It's not considered hazardous anymore once it's completely dead.
Oh.
Now, you can either go through all that drill, discharging it and doing all that, or you can go find a Batteries Plus store.
And give them to them.
And give them to them. And they'll take them and dispose of them.
Does the garbage in Florida recycle electronics differently than regular garbage?
They say they do, but I haven't heard about that for a long time. It used to be like if you had a TV you wanted to throw away, you couldn't just. Now everybody just seems to leave all this crap out in the street anyway.
Okay, just curious.
Here comes trouble, guys.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Hey, so quickly, man, another thing you could do is just cut the leads off your battery and chuck it in iodized salt water for a week and then just take them and throw them away.
I've heard of that too.
That does it.
Yeah.
That
really
absolutely,
easy.
Yeah, that does it. That does it too.
So,
Yeah, as long as they're completely dead, from what I've read, you just throw them away. They're not They're not hazardous. They're not worried about the battery. They're worried about the fire the battery's going to start.
Right.
I mean, I check them still afterwards. Like I do the solo mod, so I put down a lot of batteries weekly, right? When these things come in and I modify them, I have all these old batteries. So I put them in a bucket of salt water. I'll have 30, 40 batteries in there. When I come back after a week, everything's dead.
Gone.
You just tap a nail
gone.
through it and they're all toast,
Yeah.
you know, just to make sure there's no charge. Tap a nail
There
through
you
it,
go.
pull it out, trash can.
They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul says, Spectrum's got smart batteries now too. Some of these battery manufacturers are starting to sell these smart batteries that discharge themselves after a certain period of time or storage charge themselves. I guess I know Horizon Hobby's got them. I guess that's an okay idea. It's what DJI is doing, but it's going to to me, that just further complicates something, gives it something else to break or something else to go wrong and not work. And
That's possible. Anytime the more fancy car you have, the more things that can go wrong with it.
absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
I missed your show today, Art. How was it?
It was really good. Had,
I thought it was good.
Yeah, we had congressional candidate Casper Stockham on.
Didn't you have him on before?
Yeah, we did.
I thought I remembered him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From
Yeah, went
What-
really good. And we may try to get Lauren Boebert on. And she's quite a pistol. She's
Oh,
the
you know
one
what?
that beat the incumbent in the primary, and she owns the restaurant up in Rifle, Colorado, where all the waitresses open carry.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd be a hell of a guest. Sounds like it'd be like having Annie Oakley on, man. That'd
Oh
be
yeah.
Yeah.
great. You know why I missed your show today, Art?
Hurricane?
No,
You were flying.
I was watching this. I wanted to watch the
Oh.
SpaceX landing,
Oh, cool.
and your show was on exactly when those
Yeah,
guys
that's,
splashed.
yeah,
when
that's
those guys
right.
splashed down, and I didn't want to miss that. I thought it was an amazing. I thought it was an absolutely amazing event. And what was really cool, I don't know if any of you guys did. Any of you guys watch that?
I was
No, I was
covered up doing stuff.
Yeah,
So
same
so
here.
so the thing splashes down, perfect,
Lights
right
on
out
or
there.
off?
It splashes down right where it's supposed to, out there off of Pensacola, 1 foot seas, beautiful day, and they got what they have a recovery boat, and then they
Right.
have what they call fast boats, and the fast boats are to get to the thing quickly. Get buoys on the parachutes because they want to recover them before they sink.
Yeah, that's
And there's 6 of those. There's 2 drogue chutes and 4 main chutes. And then they got to put a bunch of rigging on the capsule so that they can hook the crane to it to get it up into the
right.
boat. So here are these 2 boats. So they got 2 shots of this. One from the airplane circling overhead, and then they got a long range shot from the recovery boat. You could see by how blurry it was that it was a monster telephoto, but it was stabilized because it was right on it. It was had a stabilize. So here's the fast boats. The first thing they have to do is they have to stay away from it, and they have to measure for poisonous vapors from if there's any propellant left over from the propellants. And they can't go near this capsule until they actually check to see if they've got this
Yep. That was
this
yummy.
rocket fuel. Carlos is eating chocolate chip cookies. Yeah. Hey, Carlos, if you're not going to share them,
They
then
just brought them to me.
don't let us see them.
My son made cookies. All right,
So
I'm
they
sorry.
they check for all the propellant vapors, which are very poisonous, and
Yep.
and then they give the fast boats permission to
Yep.
go in. So they go in, and here you got 2 boats. So for a while you see this boat's over here, this boat's over there. All of a sudden, here comes a 3rd boat, and it's got fishing rods sticking out the back, and guys in the drinking beer, and
Cool.
and then another boat, and then another boat. Within 20 minutes, there was no fewer than 20 tourists out there who made a beeline for this, and they had to keep shooing them away.
I'm surprised they didn't set some kind of perimeter up.
Well, they
Yeah.
finally did. They finally got them out there, and they had a big circle around this whole thing. And leave it to the average American to be that clever to say, wouldn't it be great if we could take our fishing boat, our open fishermen out there where the splashdown is, and just go right there? And they did, and they didn't break any law. Okay, this is a private company. SpaceX is not government. There's no military involved in the recovery of this drone. It was a private company who
Right.
doesn't own the rights to the Gulf of Mexico. So they basically couldn't do anything about it except probably ask these people if they wouldn't mind maybe staying back just a little bit. There may be some like poisonous rocket fuels here that might kill you, kind of thing. But
Might get the vapors.
so then when they had this shot, from on the recovery boat, looking over the stern of the recovery boat where they were hoisting this thing up onto the recovery boat, there was a whole ring of boats circling right in front. It looked like it had looked like a theater, looked like an audience. It was terrific. It was terrific.
Cool.
And I'm sure everybody with the boat now has the idea that the next time this happens, if I'm anywhere close, it's like
Get
going
a
out
drone
watching.
out.
Yeah, I'm surprised there weren't any drones out there. That's to tell you the truth. I'm surprised somebody on one of those boats didn't put up a drone.
Well, maybe they were ready, but they might, if there was a helicopter there too, then they may have decided not to.
What are we looking at, Dan?
All right, so I've been working with a group of guys here, and we've had some pretty serious breakthroughs on a lot of this stuff, which is really unique how the idea came about. But everybody's been talking about longer flight times and how to charge a drone battery while it's flying and all this fun stuff. I actually covered part of this in the comments section on those guys tonight. But this idea got kicked off when somebody had mentioned a micro friction generator in a group, and from there it went to, you remember when people used to ride bikes and that little wheel would go down and it would create 3 volts of power, enough to power a light bulb. Well, that was pretty old school technology at the time, but now they're building these micro friction, basically alternators in a sense. This guy has taken this concept right here, these 3,000 RPM, and he's building his own version of these. And what he's done is he's taken his Mavic Pro, and he has raised the motor, and below the bracket, he has built his own friction generators underneath the motors with half-size props that are just a little smaller, right, than the regular size prop. And what's happening is, as it's putting down pressure, it's spinning up 4 of these, and it's causing a 7-volt cycle through the entire system. So he's able to crank a positive 7 volts back into the unit, giving him I think he said he was getting like 120 minutes of flight time, like ridiculous flight times based off this theory. And I think the concept is solid, but I don't know if this is going to be feasible for most people. Like, I don't know if DJI would ever pick this idea up, because obviously they want battery sales. But if this guy can perfect this idea that he's created, it would just alter everything about drones.
Mm-hmm.
It would change the entire face of our flight characteristics on drones. Could you imagine not having to have a gas operated one that would still get an hour or 2 hours in the air?
but Dan, think
Yes.
about this. I may be wrong. I have been wrong. I was wrong once before.
And then found out you were mistaken.
That's right. There's a time I thought I was wrong, but I wasn't.
That's what your first wife said.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just going to say that.
Okay, so there's no such thing as free energy. So
No.
the energy. let me finish. The energy that would turn this thing would have to be stolen from the upward thrust produced by the motor itself. So you'd end up with less thrust, because some of that thrust would be absorbed by the resistance of this thing to generate that. So if this kind of thing worked, then every car on the road would have a turbine generator bolted to the roof of it.
But if you think about it,
would just add drag to it.
But that's the same principle of a friction generator in a car. When you apply the brakes on some of these electric cars, it'll actually charge the system based on the friction that's being created.
Because you're taking the energy of deceleration, and instead of turning it into heat, you're turning it into electricity.
Mitch, I understand what you're saying, but this is a test this guy's been doing now for a solid 6 months, man. All right, it is not a stability platform. I'm not saying that he's going to go out and this is a perfected idea and everything works flawlessly. I'm saying he's getting these flight times, which is ridiculous to me. This is crazy, the concept that he's created. He's losing, obviously, some stability with the platform because he's having to drive 4 extra blades that are smaller underneath catching the prop wash, right? Which is causing varied force. I understand that concept, but I can't deny the data that's been presented. When I see this type of stuff, I go, wow, this actually has some kind of push to it. Like this is proactive thinking right here for our drone community, and I love that people are creating new concepts for this kind of stuff.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'd like to actually see it work, and if it does work, he should be making YouTube videos about it, but patent it first.
We shall see where this goes, man. I'm intrigued by the concept he's created. I like the idea and where he's headed with it. So I'll be interested to see. I guarantee you're not going to get the same, ability to hold your optical flow. I mean, you're gonna get counter, like you were saying. You're gonna get counter. It's gonna force it to kind of move around more because it's having to do extra things. I don't think he's running. I think the props that he has are like at least half. If you look, I'll try to pull up the pictures. Hold on.
Hey, Dan.
I want you to see this. Yeah. It's hard to explain, man, when I'm not the one that created the idea.
No, that's okay. I understand the concept you're talking about, but basically you're going against all the rules of nature.
I agree.
there's no free energy. There's only
You have
energy.
to, well,
is
no,
either,
and I get
it's
that.
either
And that's
it's either
not
convert-
free. But as long as it
It's putting
as
in
long
more
as
than it's
it
taking out.
generates more power
Yes.
than it's costing
Yes.
by absorbing some of the prop wash and absorbing some of the power usage because it weighs something, the drone has to carry it. So as
Yes.
long as it's giving you more, that would extend your flight time.
Well, the props are going to have resistance because it takes power to turn any kind of a generator.
Sure it does.
You know, if you're recovering energy that's being wasted in
That's one thing.
in a system like heat, turning that heat which would be dissipated back into energy, then you're not creating energy. You're just using energy and converting it and being more efficient. But you know, it gets to the point where you're almost talking about these perpetual motion machines, which really.
What you
This
need
don't
is
work.
a flux
It comes in handy.
capacitor.
It comes
Well,
in
Dan's
handy
got one of them.
in commercial use, right? This is more for commercial use, Dan, to get longer
Well,
flight
no,
times.
he's trying to bring it to the hobby. I'm trying to pull up this dude's page here, man. If I can find
Why
it.
not just drive closer to where you want to fly, or bring the drone back and
Well,
put another
no,
battery?
it's not that. He's trying to get like serious extended flight time, right? Out of just one battery pack by producing power. I mean, like Mitch is saying, I understand there's a cost. At a cost, you're going to lose energy somewhere, but apparently the input that's going back into it is enough to make up for some of the difference that's coming out of it.
But
see what I'm
not 4
saying?
times. But you're talking about taking
One per motor. Why not 4 times?
But what I'm saying is you're talking about taking a device that normally flies for 30 minutes and stretching it to 120 minutes. That's not just recovering some energy. If you could
That's
do that
repowering the unit.
if you could do that with a Prius, for example, you'd basically drive 300 miles and pump gas out of it. You know,
Yep.
life doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, man. I may have some of my
Yeah.
numbers here wrong, guys, but the info that the guy's putting out there is solid.
No,
Right. I'm
it's-
breezing
if you
through
can,
the stuff here.
Well, the only way to know how solid it is to buy 4 of the units, mount them on your drone, and see if it actually works.
well,
I mean,
and maybe drones aren't the best use of something like this.
Now I know back in the day when I was racing RC cars off road, the low C stuff and RC10s, I used to use Tekin speed controls because when you were coasting or at 0 throttle and your car was moving, that speed control would take that energy from the motor and convert it back to power and put it back to the battery.
Yeah, and but that's not making energy when the motor is expending energy.
It was
It's
using the energy of the car decelerating,
coasting.
turning the
Now,
motor. Yeah.
an example of that on a drone, if you could do it, would be when you were descending. If the weight of the drone spun the props up, for example, and then the props generated electricity, I can see you might recover some of the energy that you needed to get up high. But I don't know. But you know what? I'm not putting it down or anything. There may be something.
Kudos
to
to him for trying. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Give me 1 sec, because it was sent to me as a post and a message, and I think I'm just going to try to find the person that sent it to me so we can go back and
Okay.
I want to pop this up just because I think it would be fun for everybody to be able to read this article that was happening.
Yeah, if you can post it in chat, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
to
If
go
I
back
can
to
grab
what
this, I'll
Mitch
put it in
said the
private
other-
chat, and then you
what
can.
Mitch said the other
Or I can
day
just
is
post
he
it
can
in
make
the regular.
Mitch can
Sorry,
make his
Carla.
plane fly. That's right. Mitch can make his fly.
That's
his
right.
plane fly for an hour.
But
and a
on
half,
a-
power up, and
but-
just, one area.
But on a serious note here. Oh God, it's green.
Like you put your new
Yeah.
strap on.
Yeah, I got my new strap here.
He's got a strap
there.
on.
I'm strapped here.
It's the RH.
This
Rat
is
RH
it, man.
joint.
This is it. This is
Now you're
my DJI goggles
in.
with the Mr. Steel.
There you
Ethics
go.
or whatever they are.
Ethics.
Ethics.
Mr.
Yeah.
Steel strap. And you know, the neat thing about this, it has the holder in it there for the battery, see?
Right.
So I didn't have to mount the battery like I had it mounted on the
Right,
goggles,
right.
which the strap carries the weight of the battery, so it's not pulling the It's not pulling the goggles. But the most important thing about this, I'm going to show you what the most important thing, the biggest difference, on Kelly's show, I was talking to him about it. And the biggest difference is with the single strap, without the
Oh, it doesn't mess up your hair.
without the strap over the top. This strap is tighter. Am I on the screen there? No,
No,
not
we're
on the
looking
screen.
at blue.
Okay, let me. There we go. Am I on this? Yeah.
There you go.
This strap is tighter, and if I take it and put it up on my head now, it stays. With that other strap, when you took the weight off the top strap, the side straps were too anemic to hold it up there, and it would just keep sliding down. So with this strap, what's nice is it actually has enough pull because it's a bigger strap that I can do like all the Fat Shark guys do. When I'm not flying, I set it up there temporarily and then put it down and put it back up. So this is a big improvement
Now you're cool.
for anybody that wants to that has the DJI goggles. It's a huge improvement to get rid of that stupid. That's a nice hair day. To get rid of that stupid three-way
Back in the
strap
closet,
that they have and
Carlos.
replace it with one of
Here,
these or something
house,
similar to it.
They tell me I'm going for a hair's cut, not a haircut.
Haircut. I'm about
I
ready.
get hair's cut.
Time for me to get the shears out.
Yeah, I was gonna
When
I
I-
was gonna say something real quick because Minnesota Paul brought it up. Your battery's over here on the side. Usually it's in the back, kind of the counterbalance. You didn't find that an issue for yourself, Mitch?
No. In
No.
fact, all the fat. If you look at all the Fat Shark straps, and most Fat Sharks always have the battery on the side. And one of the reasons is they have these batteries all have this short little, just a short little plug. and
Sound
it's
or a
just,
fan, something like that. Is it for
Well,
fan?
the-
a fan?
The power plug too, though.
Yeah, it has a power plug, and then the fan on a Fat Shark plugs into the balance plug
Right.
of the battery. In my case, I used this fan is powered through the main battery for the DJI, but I use the balance plug to power the analog module conversion that I have on the front. So if I'm not flying analog, I don't have to plug the analog in. I can just leave it unplugged, and it works great. So this works great. I still having a bald head without a hat on, it's still
A little irritating.
isn't too comfortable. But I do have the new memory foam pads that DJI came out with. Everybody who's got them has raved about them. That replaces these foam pads that come with them they don't fit real good, but the
you
memory
wear,
foam.
Wear a baseball cap backwards. That might
Yeah,
help.
when I fly with those goggles, I wear a baseball cap backwards because when you do put it up on your head, it really helps hold it in place.
Yep.
Where when you got a head as slippery as my head, there's nothing to hold it up there.
Yeah, and then when you add that stuff that gives you that sheen in the sun, it makes it worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, you take a towel and buff
Yeah,
it
that
up,
brill
yeah.
cream.
They sell those things to buff up bowling ball, the bowling ball.
Oh,
polish
yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, I
I can
remember
use them on
those,
my
yeah.
head. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
use them on my
there you
head.
go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was thinking more of the sticky tape.
But I do love those goggles though. Damn.
Hey,
I'll be right back.
Mitch, I gotta take off here, get ready for bed. Thanks
Damn,
for having
Mark.
me on. Dan, good to see you. And
You got it, brother.
Carlos, good night. And
You're-
everybody take care.
Are you mountain
Yeah.
time, Mark?
Have a, what?
Your mountain time?
Yes, I am mountain time.
Okay, so it's 7:30. Oh, you pack it in
Yep.
early. Good for you.
Yeah, I get up at 3:30 in the morning.
Wow. No wonder
Yep.
you're getting to
Oh
bed.
my God.
Well, it's called being old. The alarm is supposed to go off at 4 o'clock, and I keep ending up getting up at 3:30.
Gotcha.
Can't figure that. Anyway, have a good night, everybody.
All
Catch
right,
you
Art.
later.
Take care, buddy.
Bye.
Happy sleeping. Bye-bye. I don't know why he does that. You crazy, Art.
You're still here. Okay.
I don't know.
Chris Hope's in the house. Chris, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Ludsat1.
He likes
Good
his
to
dog.
see you. And Agent K thinks that strap that Mr. Steel Strap, and I am convinced, Dan,
Yo,
that that's wearing that strap when I fly is going to have Rotor Riot begging me to join their little thing.
sorry,
gonna-
man. I'm
it's gonna
kinda hell bent
gonna
on
in-
finding this post.
It's going to increase my flying skills by tenfold. I know it because it says ethics on it.
Yeah, I
is-
think we talked about that last stream, right? You were like, it's going to
Yeah.
make me a pro pilot. And I'm
It
gonna
is,
be a
it is,
big
absolutely.
YouTuber. Yeah.
But it's a I haven't flown with it yet because I just put it on the goggles yesterday.
Wow, this is so frustrating.
Sorry, find it next week. But that it is. Do you use the single strap on your goggles? Don't you? You don't have a strap over the top of your head. You just have the one strap
yeah,
around
no,
the
I
back,
have a
right?
strap that goes over the top.
You do.
Yeah.
What,
We're
do
not
you use
cool
Fat
like
Sharks?
What's that?
Do you use Fat Sharks?
No, I use Amway Commander V1.
Oh, okay. They come with the three.
Yeah, they come with the center strap. I like it because then it doesn't fall down on my face.
I
I hate having that strap super tight around here. I don't like that. It hurts my temples. I can't do that for long periods of time.
Yeah, and Agent Case is convinced that now that strap's is gonna enable me to bury Miss Daisy, Carlos.
I'm not going there
Right,
anymore.
well, Mitch, I'm not going to drive
do it.
myself crazy, but if I find this, I'm just going to.
Yeah, if you find it.
I think you'll find it intriguing, man. This guy's doing some crazy
before and
stuff.
after. Yeah. Rat RH, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I got all kinds of people. Got all kinds of people coming and going in here tonight. I'm just happy that that storm did what it did, and I'm able
blew
to
over.
have electricity. Yeah, it fizzled out. It turned out. I mean, now when you went over to if you went over to the beach here, the difference, and that's like 7 miles away. The difference between what's going on at the beach when you're right on the ocean and you see and you got all that wind blowing in and the sand blowing around and 10-foot, 9-foot waves out there crashing. It looks like a storm. Come inland just a little bit, and it's
Nothing.
like nothing.
I know.
20,
I think
25 mile an hour.
we got it worse than you did here. We had hail today. We had rain over on.
Yeah, some of those big feeder bands went all the way across
Yeah.
the state. We're
Tampa
sitting
got
over here. We're sitting over here, 30 miles from the eye of the storm, the 20-mile-an-hour breeze and the sunshine.
right past you guys. I know.
Yeah, just
Yeah, but
right
we
north
did-
of us.
That big circle band came around. We had hail earlier, and then it
Oh,
rained
wow.
pretty hard, and then it went back to hail, and then it sprinkled, and then the sun just came out and it cleared up. There was like basically no wind. It was just a weird day. It's like all atmospheric pressure from the storm. It was just strange.
It was strange, but the good news is that there's a lot of wind shear high
Yeah.
up, and a lot of dry air, and that wind shear coming heading east, and they had the Sahara dust earlier on.
Oh,
That this poor storm was getting the crap kicked out of it every time every place it went. It was something else, and yet it still managed to maintain 70-mile-an-hour winds, which is what it's got right now. It's still got 70-mile-an-hour winds. The good news is it's 30 miles, 40 miles offshore, instead of, like they said it was, going to come visit me right at my house. All storms, Dan, when they first put the first plot up that shows where they're going, they come right to my house, every one of them.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
normally how
it's
it
like
goes.
It's like a starting point,
Well, what Tampa's supposed to look like some kind of like weird foot, right? Something like that. Doesn't like it's a strange foot.
Tampa Bay,
I don't know.
you mean?
No, just the whole like Florida looks like either a giant mitt or a alligator's mouth opening. Like I don't know how to explain it, man. But yeah, I think whatever it is chomps or kicks it out of the way. It doesn't quite make it here.
Last
Shape
year.
of Florida.
Brad thinks maybe if you missing that strap, the girls will come over and rub your head. More
I
attractive.
got your middle strap. No, they weren't heavy duty. They were too light. Those straps were too weren't elastic enough. They're not the lightest goggles, And of course, I have all this crap hanging on them too. I had the analog module and the battery, and so that tighter strap really.
Telling
It's
you,
really
if
gonna
you
help.
went out like into the public, not in a flying field with that stuff, people would think you're a little like looking for Martians and
Yeah, like the Ghostbusters.
aluminum hat. Yeah,
They would think I'm a Ghostbuster. Yeah, you look like Ant-Man in those
or a
goggles.
leftover from from the Ant-Man cartoon, whatever that show is.
And just imagine in 5 or 10 years with technology going the way it is, what we're going to have.
Probably just glasses.
It's going to be absolutely nuts. You will have implants, and little antennas sticking out of our heads, and we'll all be our own, have our own built-in VTXs. I mean receivers.
Can we get that now? I don't want to wait.
Yeah, it's been
So
way too
Dan, I
hot.
guess in a couple days we should calm down and be able to fly, huh?
Days?
Dan's probably not doing too much flying.
No, you're not healing up?
That's hard to get out there, man. I've only got a couple days left till I go see the doctor again. Right now, I'm exhausted. Like, I'm back again, team no sleep. I didn't sleep last night. Heck, we streamed until, 5, 6 o'clock this morning?
Did you really? I
yeah.
actually got some sleep. I woke up at 5 this morning.
And I just been up ever since. So that's I can't lay down. It's hard. Everything hurts. So it's like, I go until I'm exhausted.
According to my UAV forecast app here, right now we have 18-mile-an-hour winds, and this storm is like right off the coast right now. Just passing us.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow at 6 p.m. we'll have 5-mile-an-hour winds. At 8 p.m. we'll have 1-mile-an-hour winds. So, and tomorrow all day is going to start out like 10 mile an hour in the morning at 8 o'clock, go up to 12, then back to 10, 9, 8. But the next day, Tuesday, it looks like it's going to be one of those 2-3 mile an hour days.
Well, my understanding is that it's heading up towards North Carolina because they just issued a news thing saying drone pilots, if they wanted to help the Department of Transportation up in North Carolina, that you could sign up for that.
Yeah,
So,
but are they really? It's going to be a
sounds like it.
little sub-tropical storm. I can't see them having.
They're putting out the warning.
I wanted to show this to you guys tonight. And John, I don't know if you saw John Coopy's video about this Vifly smoke stopper. Have you seen this, Dan?
Hold on, let me switch back. I have heard of it. It stops your board from frying.
I mean, he did some. I bought one. They're like $12. Race day quads. RDQ's got it. They have both the XT30 and the XT60 on it. But this thing here works so fast, so cool in stopping and shutting off the power on the slightest little surge. Now that's great. That's great when you build a new quad, right? The first time you plug it in, it's nice to have a smoke stopper, but how many times do you build a new quad and need it? So you're going to use it like once in a blue moon. But
Does that have a switch, Ed?
It has one switch that changes it from 1 amp trigger to 2 amp triggers.
But nothing to turn it on and off, so to speak?
You don't have to. No, you just plug it in.
No, only because some quads you have to hold in the button and then, you have to plug the battery in while you're holding a button.
Well,
Sometimes
that's to bind your receiver.
Right, so if that had a switch, that would come in handy, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, but here's where I think this thing is way more useful than just for checking out new quads, and that is when you want to you got a quad, you want to plug it into your computer, power it up to make one stupid adjustment, and all common sense says you got to remove the props, because if something happens and that thing fires up when it's hooked up, it'll eat you alive. You put this thing between the battery and the quad, and you cannot spin the props. Just arming the motors will draw more than enough to trigger this, and it'll shut it right down. So this becomes, as far as I'm concerned, a real safety tool, and save you a lot of time when you're working in the house and you bring it home and you want to plug it in and change one thing on your OSD, or you need to power it up your VTX and plug the battery in. Well, if you're a careful person, you'd be taking the props off. That's a pain in the ass. But with this thing, you'll be getting a lot more use out of it as a safety, as a backup for if for some reason something happens and the motors do get a signal to start up. As soon as they start drawing even the smallest amount of current, this thing is going to shut it off, and you won't hurt yourself. So to me, I think they're worth having. And I've been using the light bulb one, but this thing doesn't just limit the current. This actually completely breaks the circuit and stops it off. And for 11, 12 bucks, hell, if you just buy the connectors, you can spend $10. You know, it's quite a little deal. So I would recommend this to anybody that works on quads, especially bigger quads.
I just plug in and go.
You just plug in and go. Yeah, I did that. I actually did smoke a flight controller once. Stupid was when I was first starting out with this thing, and I didn't realize it, and I put the XT60 connector on backwards. When I plugged the battery in,
Oh, wow.
it was reversed. Poof, smoke. I never did that again. I was in a hurry. I wasn't paying attention, and you gotta be careful with that stuff. But
Never smoked the board.
I wanted to show you. I wanted to show this because I think it's and thanks to, I had seen it, but I never took it seriously until I saw John's video. So I don't see John. I haven't seen him around here tonight, but wanted to thank him
Spank
for the
Spank
heads.
isn't very active tonight. How do we make Spank active? Oh, wait, I said
What?
his name. Now he's looking around. Spank, what are you doing, buddy?
Spank's always moving.
He's like, you talking about me, bro?
There he goes. Here.
Yeah.
It's my buddy.
Good old Spank.
My virtual pet that doesn't eat, doesn't crap,
He
makes
just
no-
watches your back, literally.
makes no demands, just sits back there and behaves himself. Perfect. Perfect.
My
Looks like
guinea pig's a little
he has his hair styled.
Post a link, Drone Shot says. Post a link. Okay, I guess I'll have to look it up. I'll look it up on
What, monkey wing?
RDQ
Spank link?
for you. No, not the
Oh.
monkey. The VIFLY. Let's see here. Is there a link here for RDQ? Pirate Drone, Get FPV, Amazon. They got them on Amazon. I could have sworn I got it on RDQ. Let me take a look here and see.
I'll tell you something not to buy on Amazon.
Oh, hi, Mel, you're back. What? What don't we buy on Amazon?
That damn little FPV camera.
Hmm?
Oh, really? Why?
Well-
Did you buy one of those?
I bought one. I spent the money for it. It was supposed to
happened?
arrive on July 8th. July 8th came and went. It said it was shipped, but there was no tracking information.
Really?
July 8th came and went. On the 9th, I got an email that said it would arrive between the 10th and 14th. On the 14th, it wasn't here, and they sent me another email that said if it doesn't arrive by the end of the day today, tomorrow you can request a refund. On the 15th, I got another email that said, it seems that we've lost your package. You can request a refund.
Wow, that's unusual.
So I did. And they said, okay. 2 days, 3 days later, I got another email that said, your refund has been approved. We'll give you your money back in 3 to 5 days. So for 30 days, they had my frickin' $25, and I still never got the damn camera.
I'd only have that happened to me one time, Mel. One time in all my dealings with Amazon, where something actually got lost. And you're right, it takes a while. They have to. But boy, it doesn't take them long to take the money out of your account when you place that order, does it?
And that's pretty much instant. And so I kept watching my PayPal, and I just got done checking my PayPal again because I've still got a zero balance in my PayPal. I've got no notification of any kind of activity in my PayPal. Well, it went directly to my bank account. I just found it. But I was in chat with Amazon just a moment ago, ready to chew someone's ass. Like, I want my damn money here. You know?
Hey, imagine if it was like a $2,000 thing they were jerking you around.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't it
Well-
cost more to buy something when you use PayPal instead of a credit card?
Is it
No,
what?
they all cost. They're all about the same. Pay about 2+%. You know, these big people like Amazon, they have deals. Little people like us pay 5 times what they pay to credit card companies. You know, the discounts
yeah.
that they pay are much less than us, and shipping too. You think that Amazon pays as much to ship you a package
Oh,
as you
no.
as you pay to ship it to your aunt
No,
somewhere?
they have like a bulk deal probably.
It's
Because they do so much shipping.
Yeah,
They do
and-
their
and-
volume. Yeah.
and the post office is complaining that they actually lose money. So if they
Yeah.
have to sell to Amazon so cheap.
That's
Now,
crazy.
whatever happened to Amazon? Amazon, for a while there, we used to have, at least here, for about 6 months, the little white Amazon trucks would be delivering everything. They had their own little delivery fleet. And then they all went away, and now it's back to the post office again. So I guess it didn't work out for them, at least not in this area.
You know what I
we
find?
still get Amazon trucks here.
Do
I
you?
see them on roads. But
Mhm.
RDQ occasionally uses UPS as well as USPS.
Yeah, well, keep in mind that if they ship lipos, they have
Round.
to use UPS.
Wait, they can use USPS also, no? Like,
Not for only below a certain size, I think.
Oh boy,
that's why-
I receive 5200s in the mail all the time, regular package.
By regular mail, really?
Really? Yeah. Yeah. they
As long
send
as
them
it's ground shipped, it's not a problem.
Yeah, it's
They got to have. They're supposed to have the hazardous warning
Yeah, it has a
labels on
sticker
them.
on it. That it does. Yeah.
All kinds of stuff like that. Yeah.
And why anybody would buy anything from Banggood is beyond me.
yeah. I'm done
Oh.
with Banggood, and I'm so sick of Banggood. Too many bad experiences. I've had enough.
We're not as lucky as Mitch.
I have had
Has
pretty good
connections.
luck every time. For the 1 or 2 things that got lost, they've always given me a refund. I just know it takes 2-3 weeks usually. But there's some things that I want, especially especially some of the FPV stuff. These little some of the airplanes, and
I don't know, to say
you
5 or
can't
10
get it.
bucks.
You
and wait
can't
2
get
or
them
3
anywhere
months.
else. Like the Tyro drones, the Tyro. You know, they're great little kits, cheap, Eachine, but they have a deal with Banggood, and only Banggood sells them. So you got to get them. You got to get them
Mike?
from them, and
Mike's in here. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike. Jaybird.
Just got in Mr. Ranger, Jaybird.
oh, Mike B. Hey, how you doing, Mike? Good to see you. And Ed's
Mike.
still here. Ed is still here. I thought you were over in Night Trains.
This is
stream.
Sunday.
Or is
Mitch.
that's,
You're losing
oh,
it.
this is Sunday.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what the hell day it is. I haven't really slept much in like 3 days worrying about this
Because of the
stupid
storm?
storm that was supposed to blow us away down. I hate these things.
I would
I don't
think
even
right now.
care, I
it is,
guess.
man.
I don't even think about it. I'm like, whatever. I got hot dogs.
You have toilet paper.
Man,
Tons
we
of
got- everybody's eating but me.
No, I'm sucking on a throat lozenge.
Oh,
Sorry. So this is
Carlos
crunchy.
is-
I'll stop.
Carlos is eating chocolate chip cookies. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ, I'm
I'm
gonna
trying
have
to sneak them in there.
Did you
I have to
want a
get my-
Ricola, Mitch?
to. No, thank you. I'm gonna have to get my stream catered here.
Well, the backstage is kind of like the snacks back there, not so hot.
Well, we
Not
didn't
so
solve a
hot.
lot of We didn't solve a lot of problems here tonight, guys.
Well, we need an audience that's like up for asking. Come on, guys.
I guess. You know, I know I'm no Joshua Bardwell, but I was watching his stream this afternoon. He has 700 people
I'm not
watching
even
his stream.
subscribed to him.
700 people. And they're
That's-
all asking questions.
That's got to look like
And he
the
even
stock
had some
market
trolls.
ticker tape when it goes down.
Yeah, he even it's going crazy. And he even has, well, in that deal, you pretty much have to come in with a super chat because he's got so many questions that he's got a Discord, he's got his Patreon subscribers, they have a Discord chat, and he's got to keep track of all that stuff. Way too much for me.
Yeah.
And he had some trolls in there today too. He had to block a couple of people. So when you get, I guess when you get that big, I don't want to be that big. I have a hard enough time keeping up with 20 people here. How could you keep up with 700 people?
You don't unless a super chat comes up. We have somebody new in there. It just says Mike.
Oh,
Is that
there's
right?
Mike. Hey, yeah, Mike. Mike, hiya, Mike. How you doing, buddy? Mike
Made
is
him covers.
a guy. Yeah, Mike is an FPV fixed wing guy, and he saw one of my videos when I built the Sonic model binary, and I 3D printed ESC covers to go under the wing. I don't expect you to remember them, but I did. I don't know if I got a picture of those here or not. Let me see if I got a picture of those. All right, here we go. Binary photos.
Yeah.
I woke
Do
up in
I
the middle of
have
the night around 4 and change in the morning, and I looked at my phone, and sure as stuff, I see you and Kiwi. Who is this guy, Tim? Skinny guy.
Tim Jackson. He's cool, man. Oh, dude, we
No, but
partied
what's his-
all morning,
What's
bro.
his FPV name? Oh, he doesn't
No,
have one.
just Tim Jackson. That's his YouTube channel.
Never
Tim
saw him
Jackson.
before.
Oh, he's
Okay,
been
here.
everywhere. He's good. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Here you go. See that red? See the red cover? That's held on the bottom of the wing with double-sided sticky tape, and the ESC is underneath that cover on the bottom of the wing, and so that I showed it in my video, and Mike emailed me, said, how much would you charge me to make me a set of covers? So I don't want to. I'm not in a business.
Cup of
or anything.
coffee. Cup of coffee.
Well, I said, I don't know. I don't even remember how much he paid me. $10, $20, some token, just to cover the cost of of shipping of postage and everything else. Yeah, and making them. So I asked him, what color do you want? We have red and we have black. So he said he wanted black, and I made him a pair of these black covers and sent them to him, and he got them, and he evidently he was very happy with them. So
He wrote
welcome to the
$0.
stream. Good to see you. $0. No, you sent me something. You sent me something to cover the postage. Yeah, $20. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Meanwhile, it's like it takes a day to print them. You know how slow 3D printing is, and you got to fool around with them. And the first one I printed, it didn't come out. I wasn't happy with it, so I threw it away and did that one again. So it was like a day project for me. But the printer does the work, not you.
Hey, I just got a memory of Mel. When somebody printed Mel these little buoys for the side of his boat.
Yeah, I did.
Where's the boat, Mel?
Well,
Oh, he's
as a
getting-
matter
it's
of
coming.
fact,
As a
It's
matter
coming.
of fact.
Is
yeah.
it?
this
Okay.
next weekend I should have it.
Oh, okay,
Well, I should have what I have, and I'm going to start working on it again.
cool.
So
I
that
figured
means
you got distracted with all these airplanes. So.
that I'm going to be needing some parts, everyone. I'm going to need a couple of ESCs and a couple of motors. Because this boat's is designed for twin screw. So I need 2 separate ESCs and 2 separate motors.
And you have one motor to use for a cooling system that you had or something to that effect?
I
You had
have a
one,
cooling system set up. Yep, I got a water pump.
Mike's got the answer for you there, Mel. Nitrane.
What?
Mike gave you the answer to your problem.
Go buy some.
Go buy some.
Yeah, that's what we all have to do.
That's funny.
That's funny.
What are you trying to say there, Drone Days?
And that's what I ended up doing for my airplane stuff. I had
Of
to go buy
course.
it. No big deal.
Of course you
right?
do. Well, you're working, so
Yovi
Why-
P51 is saying hello to you, Mr. Mitch.
Yowie P51.
Yowie,
Yeah,
yeah.
how you doing? How you doing, buddy? Good to see
And
you.
there
I
goes
just said,
Jim just joined it. Above and beyond.
Jim, it's finally get a turbo with a blower fan. Jim says. Hi, Jim. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Jim.
2 minutes. 2 minutes to the end of the stream, and Jim comes in. And,
It's all good. Gentlemen, I'm actually dropping now. I'm ready to lay down.
All right, Dan. Hey, listen, Dan. Good
Take
to see
care,
you.
Dan.
Hope you're feeling better, man. Take care. of
Working
yourself.
on it. Just popping in where I
All
can.
right.
Have fun.
All right, buddy.
Keep smiling.
Take care. Why did I click that? I'll have the swordfish. Okay. Jim. So this storm we had today was a real disappointment. I mean, not that I wanted to see damage, but all day I kept waiting for the wind and the rain, and it just didn't happen. Luckily, I mean, it really fizzled. So I guess you got pretty much like we got. You're inland enough down there where you didn't. I didn't get anything more than 25, maybe a 30-mile-an-hour gust all day. That was about it. But I think we're out of the woods now, so glad to see we're done with it. Oh, no wonder I'm small. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here with in the corner of a blank screen. There you go.
Tribute
Okay.
you were doing that.
Thought you were going to do something there. You
No, I
changed
had
your
the picture.
screen and
Yeah, I had the picture. Well, I had the picture of that bottom cover
oh,
up there.
Express.
You can,
yeah. But I thought you came back to this one and then you went back to that other one, and I thought you were going to do something else.
Oh, I don't know. I'm punchy. I didn't past 2 nights, like I say, because it is. I finally fell asleep late and woke up very early, and getting maybe 3-4 hours of sleep a night. And I usually sleep a good 7 hours every night.
don't nap?
No, I don't nap. I don't need the nap. I get a good night's sleep every night.
Just not late.
Just rain and 40-mile-an-hour gusts was all. Yeah, we did, Jim. We did come out lucky this time. It's a shame we have to sweat it for 3-4 days like that.
Yeah, they sure tried to build it up, didn't they?
They always do, and you know, it's a double-edged sword, Mel. You want people to be prepared, and generally,
Yep.
most people won't move out of their own way unless you really motivate them. So you got to
Yep.
scare them to death. The disadvantage of that is the boy who cried wolf syndrome. You know, if you scare them to death too often and nothing happens, then when the big one comes along, they're not going to
don't,
believe
yeah.
you.
Yep.
They don't believe
Yep.
you. So if you're a weather guy, if you're the guy that has to go on TV and try to decide how you're going to spin this thing, what do? You spin on the side of, well, better to be prepared than not. And speaking of my fellow hurricane
Floridian.
dweller,
There
Hi,
he
Jim.
is.
Hey, boys. Mitch, you couldn't be more right. I mean, they tell you a week ahead of time, emergency alerts come out on your phone and all this other stuff. And people are just, to get a Floridian off their butt, it has to be a category 4 or better.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, the people on this storm here, nobody did anything. Nobody shuttered up. Nobody put plywood up. They opened one lousy shelter.
Yeah,
in
and they
Brevard
shut
County.
that down because of boredom.
One person came in for some kind of assistance. So they assisted the one person and then shut the shelter down. It was nothing. It was you know what I always used to love about the way that the news people, they always got the weather guy with the raincoat and the palm tree blowing sideways.
Looking for
And
the worst.
he's out
yeah.
there like he's fighting against the wind, and then three kids in t-shirts with a beer and short pants walk behind him and wave.
Yeah.
and
yeah.
their hair's not even blowing,
Do you notice how
20
UAV forecast is getting better? With the wind directions and all that.
Mine doesn't tell me wind direction.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
I see
UAV
that.
forecast does.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't. Why doesn't mine?
Are you
Can
sure?
do you
Apparently
pick the
it's
boxes? Do you pick the boxes that go on there?
I set my height at 150 feet.
Parameters. Yeah.
They do have wind direction. I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Never noticed that. Mine's not spinning. Mine's sitting there just. Oh, I've got the green screen thing, but mine is sitting there just steady as you please. Now, I see the wind direction when I look at the forecast. It gives
Got a
you a little
magnet near
arrow.
you, Jim?
No, I have wind gusts blowing around.
Yeah, but apparently they're going in circles.
Well, that's what the gusts are,
Did you didn't see you
Probably
didn't
the
see the
But
you
it's-
didn't see this, did you, Jim? You weren't
I'm
around
gonna-
earlier.
I'm going to bounce out, guys.
All right.
All right,
Yeah.
Mel. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
going
Mel.
to shut it down here pretty soon in a couple of minutes.
See you,
So,
Carlos. See you, Mitch. See you, Jim.
Good to see you.
Jim,
Good
I
to
sent
see
you a
buddy.
messenger message too. I don't know if you saw it
Alrighty.
yet. See you guys later. Thanks, Mitch.
Okay.
Good night.
Take care, Mel. Jim, you see this? A time lapse out my window.
Yeah, we
This is
got
what I
very
had-
lucky. Very lucky today.
This is what I had all day. I had the sun came out, blue sky there, but the clouds were moving. I didn't realize they were moving until you do a time lapse like this.
Are you kidding
But,
me? It rained all day down here.
Didn't rain here at all. I mean, we had a 3 or 4 little 2-minute spurts, and that was about it. This is what we had all day here. The rain was to the north of us, to the south of us, but almost every band that went through missed me completely. I don't think we had 1/10 of an inch of rain in total.
Wow.
I mean, this is the whole day. I started this in the morning and shut it off at 8 o'clock tonight. And there's a couple of times in there you'll see the rain actually, you'll see a little bit of rain. But this is what we had. The trees are hardly moving.
Yeah, it did look like a tornado, Ed, but that's how the gust. It always comes around in a west-southwest band.
Counterclockwise. You see,
Right,
you
right.
see that in this case, this is around early afternoon. The wind is still the clouds are coming kind of from the east, and as we get to the end of the day and the storm is right off our coast, the clouds are coming. You'll see them. They'll be moving due south. Here, I'll move them up, and you'll see. See how they're moving kind of from the northeast now. Now look at them. Now they're coming straight from the north. See,
Coming at you.
south. Anyway, that's what we had. That's what we had today. It was.
All right, I'll say
thankful.
goodnight first.
All right.
Jim to say goodnight last.
Okay. Well, thanks, Carlos. And
I'll see you Thursday, God willing, before it goes
yeah,
well.
it's after 10 o'clock already. Wow, time flies. Time
It is.
flies. Yeah.
All right, guys. On the
And-
chat.
and hopefully-
On the chat. Go ahead, Mitch.
All right. Okay. Take it easy, Carl. See you next time.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right. And that just leaves Florida. I don't even want to get started I don't even want to get started talking about your drone right now because I'm tired. I need to get to bed, but I need to hear the story. I do
yeah,
want to-
yeah.
yeah.
For all the regulation, there's certainly no regulation. That's what I'm going to leave you at.
Okay.
I just wanted
Jim,
to pop
thanks for
and
coming
say,
in. Thanks for coming in, even if it was just a short time. And
Night, buddy.
I will see you next time. And everybody, the end of a long day for me. Storm is on the way out, and hopefully in a day or two we get back to flying. I want to thank everybody for coming in. Carlos, Agent K, Mike, nice meeting you, my friend. And don't be a stranger. Come on in. I'm going to be doing more and more of the fixed wing stuff and the FPV stuff. Some more flights with my little ZOHD Drift, which I really like, and I'm having a good time with it. And even the binary, which I don't get out with too often, but I need to fly that thing. So thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. Good to meet you. Ed, love my drones. What else can I say? Hope you're not too sloshed, but thanks for coming in. Maybe next time we'll see you in the panel. Ludset, thank you, my man. Joe Blaylock, Drone Shots. Jody, thank you. Agent K. Mel, good to see you. Thanks for coming on the panel. And Dan, too, at Drone Worship. Thanks for coming in. Mike, Night Train, good to see you. Yowie P51, thank you, friend, from across the pond, the big pond. And who else did I miss that was here? I know Rick Halber was here. I don't know if he still is. Chris Hope. Anyway, all you guys, thanks for coming in. Always appreciate the audience and the support. And on Sunday night we want to talk about technical stuff. So any of you guys want to, if you're interested in learning how Betaflight works, I'd be happy to go over the basics of that stuff and maybe make it a little less scary for you. But I don't want to just talk about it if nobody's interested. With that said, I don't know about you, but I'm going to take the rest of the day off. What's left of it. I'm going to bring in a little music here. All right, we got some wake-up music on the way out tonight. Take care. Take the rest of the evening off. Go play with your drones. Everybody. It's Sunday, so I can't say have a good weekend. Have a good week, and see you all Thursday night. Bye-bye. Gonna let Spank sing me out here. Spanky, say goodnight to the people.